yeah, hey Tama. Oh yeah, hey Tama.
Good evening, Falcons fans. My name is Patrick Seals, and welcome to the Week 6 edition of the Friday Morning Mix-Up. Man, it is Thursday evening, and I'm taking my sweet, lovely time doing these NFL recap videos. But let's get it started, baby. The Commodores took on the Bears, where the Commodores won in a very, very boring game, 12-7, where Justin Fields only scored one touchdown. But the Commodores defense had 5 sacks, 1 fumble, and an interception, man. And yeah, man, this is my team of the week. This is my defensive team of the week, man. That was amazing. They only kept Justin Fields to 1 touchdown. It's not hard to do, but they did it in prime time. These very, very boring games, but defenses make games boring because they're very good. They get sacks, interceptions, turnovers, and that's exactly what the Commodores defense did against the Bears. They didn't play a prolific offense, but still, they kept an NFL team to 1 touchdown, and they got 5 sacks, 1 fumble, and an interception. So this is my defensive team of the week. So shout out to the Commodores for being an amazing defensive unit. The Patriots took on the Browns. Of course, this is Bill Belichick's old team, the Cleveland Browns, where Bailey Zapp, where'd this guy come from, had 24 completions for 34 attempts. He had 309 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. This dude, Bailey Zapp, is filling in for injured Mac Jones, and of course, Mac Jones is backup. So he had 10 incompletions, man. Bailey Zapp. Bill Belichick does it again with these out-of-nowhere quarterbacks, man. Where did he come from? Matt Castle. We had Jimmy Garoppolo. All right, the Jets took on the Packers, where the Jets won 27-10. Breece Hall had 20 carries for 116 yards. He was averaging 5.8 yards a carry and a touchdown. The Packers are lost. They will not make the playoffs this year. You heard it from Patrick Seals first. The Packers will not make the playoffs. They won't. They lost to the Jets. Breece Hall is pretty good and Sauce is pretty good, but the Jets aren't pretty good at all. But the Packers will not make the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers is lost without Devontae Adams. He has no team to form around him, and they will not make the playoffs this year. They got beat by the Vikings already, and I won't be surprised if they lose to the Lions later on this season. The Jaguars took on the Colts, where the Colts won 34-27. Matt Ryan had 42 completions for 58 attempts. He had 389 yards passing and 3 touchdowns, man. Matt Ryan is my offensive player of the week because he balled out, man. Matt Ryan doesn't have a star wide receiver on his team. He just has Jonathan Taylor, the best running back in football right now, running the ball behind him. But Matt Ryan looks like he carried his team right here. He had 3 touchdowns. That's 18 points right there. And he had almost 400 yards passing, man. That is amazing, Matt Ryan. Keep up the good play now, because before, you were bad. I know a Colts fan who didn't like you to start the season off. He was asking me, hey, this your man's right here? Nah, that ain't my man's no more. That's your man's. But yeah, Matt Ryan, keep up the good play. The Vikings took on the Dolphins, where the Vikings won 24-16. Justin Jefferson had 6 receptions for 107 yards. Big news out of this game. Well, not out of this game, but after this game. Tua has been cleared to start against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I cannot believe my eyes when I read the headlines. The man was having a stroke/seizure on the football field, and he's going to play football again? I'm going to be praying for him. The Bengals took on the Saints, where the Bengals won 30-26. Joe Burrow had 28 completions for 37 attempts. He had 300 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. Jamar Chase had 7 receptions for 132 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. We thank God that the Bengals beat the Saints. It's always a good day when the Saints lose.
Go sit your fine ass down before I make change.
The Ravens took on the Giants, where the Giants won 24-20. The Giants defense had 2 turnovers, an interception, and a fumble, and 2 sacks. The Giants is balling right now. I do not trust their quarterback, Daniel Jones, but this overall team, Saquon Barkley, they kind of something to look out for, man. They might give the Eagles a little bit of run for their money when it comes to that division crown out east. The Buccaneers lost to the Steelers, where the Steelers won 28-18. Clay Chase-Poole had 7 receptions for 96 yards and 1 touchdown. So let me get this right. The Saints lost. The Buccaneers lost. The Falcons won. The Cowboys lost. Georgia won. Alabama lost. Florida lost. Did I miss anything? All right, moving on. The Panthers took on the Rams, where the Rams won 24-10. That's what I was missing. The Panthers lost as well. Cooper Kupp had 7 receptions for 80 receptions. Yes, the Rams finally get back in the win column after coming off this humiliating loss to the Cowboys last week. But we thank God that they beat the snot out of the Panthers, who only have 1 win this whole NFL season. Isn't this amazing? It's just amazing, right? The Falcons the only team won in their division. Isn't that just great? They just make you just feel so good.
Wait for the
The Seahawks took on the Cardinals, where the Seahawks won 19-9. The Seahawks defense had 6 sacks, 10 tackles for losses, an interception, and 2 fumbles. The Seahawks run defense was all over the field today, man. They didn't let Kyler Murray run crazy on them, and they kept everything in front of them, man. Congratulations to the Seahawks. The Bills took on the Chiefs, where the Bills won, man. Josh Allen had 27 completions for 40 attempts. He had 329 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs had 10 receptions for 148 yards and 1 touchdown, man. I was just telling my cousin Jakarta Seals earlier today. The Bills can definitely make the bowl. The big bowl. They beat the Chiefs in the regular season. We'll see what happens in the playoffs, but they can definitely make the bowl because there's nobody good enough to withstand the Bills' onslaught. The Miami Dolphins beat them earlier, which was because of heat exhaustion mixed with bad clock management at the end of halves. But the Bills are definitely capable of beating the Dolphins and definitely capable of winning the title in the AFC. The Cowboys took on the Eagles, where the Eagles won 26-17. The Eagles had 3 interceptions. I'm not smiling because I hate the Cowboys. I'm smiling because the Cowboys lost. I hate the Cowboys. It was a great week for football, man. It was a great week. The Cowboys lost. The Panthers lost. The Saints lost. The Buccaneers lost. Alabama lost. And Florida lost. And the Falcons won. So, and Georgia won. My bad. Georgia won too. So, so overall, you see the smile? It's because football. That's why I'm smiling. So yeah, the Chargers took on the Broncos, where the Chargers won in a very, very boring game. Nothing needs to be said about that. All right. So, when it comes to these standings, it's a little bit weird because the Bills are number 1 in the AFC, followed by the Chiefs, who are number 2, the Chargers, who are number 3, and the Titans, who are number 5. These are the standings of the division leaders right now. Out of the NFC, the Eagles are ruling the East, the Vikings are ruling the North, the Bucks are ruling the South, and the 49ers are ruling the West. So, right now we have the Eagles at number 1 in the NFC, the Vikings at number 2, the Bucks at number 5, and the 49ers at number 6 right now. These are the standards of the NFL right now, and these are your division leaders right now. And if any of your teams hopes to get back in playoff contention, maybe, just maybe, I'll be saying one of the players' names on your team on this video. So maybe, just maybe. My name is Patrick Shields. Y'all like, subscribe, share, comment. Let me know how your team did this week, because my team did amazing. We beat the 49ers 28-14. I'm feeling great. The Georgia Bulldogs on bye week this week. Let me know how you feel, man. I see you when I see you. Peace.
Show me the money.
Jerry, does that make you feel good just to say that? Say it with me one time, Jerry.
Show you the money.
Oh, no, you can do better than that, Jerry. I want you to say it with meaning, brother. Hey, I got Bob Sugar on the other line. I better hear you say it.
No. Show you the money.
Not show you. Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Yeah. Louder.
Show me the money.
That's it, brother, but you got to yell that shit.
Show me the money.
I need to feel you, Jerry.
Show me the money.
Jerry, you better yell.
Show me the money. Show me the money.
Do you love this black man? I love the black man. Show me the money. I love black people. I love black people.
Congratulations, you're still my agent.